I'm live. I'm live. It shows that I'm live. Come on in. 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 What's up, Chunk Norris? What up, y'all? I ain't seen you in a minute, Chunk Norris. What's up with you, brother? What's up, Big Dex? What's up, Chris, Jordan? Hey, man, and I have an issue when I keep calling you brothers, Kevin Sandra. I don't want to keep saying that, man. When you get back to your real profiles, I'll be forgetting you niggas. I don't know y'all real names. I don't want to say, what's up, Kevin Samuels, Rip? I don't want to say that. Rest in peace, but shit. What's up, Free Truth? What's up, Moses and Moses? Big Josh Hawkins. Josh Hawkins got the hairline of a retired NBA player. Josh Hawkins looked like a nigga that was hooping back in 91. You look like a nigga. That nigga retired the year before James Worthy. What's up, 429 WAP? What's up, last name first? What is your last name, nigga? I'm just fucking with Josh Hawkins, man. I'm just fucking with Josh Hawkins. That's my guy right there. Yeah. You email me? Oh, you want to email me about the reading? No, I ain't got no cigarettes, brother. Yeah, you have a good one. Nigga said one of your neighbors. Fuck you. You emailed me about the book? I didn't get that email. That shit must have gone to my junk drive. I didn't get any emails about my book. Man, my book is just, man, my book is done, but it ain't right. Y'all know what that is? Do y'all know? Are y'all feeling what I'm saying? The book is done, but it's not right. Like, I want that shit to be right for you niggas, you know? I want the book to be right. Like, I really respect y'all. You know what I mean? I respect y'all too much to put out something that, you know, I'm not feeling. And I want to get it out, but it gotta be right. It gotta be right. And it just ain't right yet. Same thing with the music tree. The music tree is done. The music family tree is done. I'm just looking at it. Before I put it out, I'm just looking over it over and over and over again. I'm putting on my books, making sure my references are tight, making sure I can explain it well enough to you guys. I want the shit to be right. I want it to be right, man. I respect you niggas, man. For real, for real. I'm not gonna just put something out because y'all fuck with me and be like, man, they like me, man. They gonna buy my book because they like me. I respect y'all too much for that, man. I want my book to help y'all, like for real. I want this shit to like really help. I want y'all to read my book and be like, yo, this book helped me talk to my girlfriend better. It helped me talk to my kids better. It helped me talk to my co. It helped me talk to myself better. That's the reaction I want when y'all read this book. What do I think about Jimmy's shot? Jimmy should have taken that shot to the cup. Jimmy pulled up for a three when he had Al Horford on him one-on-one with no help at the rim. He should have gone in for a layup. Billy Preston is one of the great. Billy Preston, Chris, is more talented than any one of them other Beatles. I love Billy Preston. He got a song called "Will It Go Down in Circles?" Down, down. Will it fly high like a bird or a plane in the sky? Dun, 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 dun. Shit. Billy Preston wasted a lot of his talent with the Beatles. Hey, that Butcher Brown's a truth, free truth. Butcher Brown, that's some good ass work. That's some good ass music right there. This nigga said, Mo said Billy was moist talented. Hey, brother. Hey. Y'all ain't shit. Yes, Billy was gay. Billy Preston was gay, man. But hey, leave him alone, M. Moses. You ain't shit for that. There is no best Roy Ayers song. Roy Ayers just puts out a lot of great music. Sometimes my favorite Roy Ayers song is This Side of Sunshine. Sometimes it's You Send Me. Sometimes it's Searching. Man, Roy Ayers that's just some shit you vibe out to right there, man. Like me, I got a mix. I got a mix where I just played Roy Ayers, Donald Byrd, the Blackbirds, Lonnie Liston Smith, Ronnie Laws, Hubert Laws. And that's just, man, that's some of the best vibe out music. You put those five groups, those five in a mix, and just shuffle them five and nigga vibe the fuck out. Vibe all the way the fuck out. I played Wind Parade last night on Incense and Ashtrays. Wind Parade. Yeah, George Duke. There's no best Confunction song. I love Confunction. From Love's Train to By Your Side. My man Skip Scarborough used to manage them. Yeah, Frankie. I love Frankie Beverly, man. See, Frankie Beverly is some Frankie is some shit I'm listening to, like, that's springtime, summertime music. Frankie Beverly and Maze. That's just, man, you open up, the sunshine is outside, you open up your sunroof or whatever, and that's when you play that Frankie Beverly and Maze. See, I don't appreciate that, Dre Day. Appreciate the last thing first. Yeah, last thing first. Email me again, man. Because I did not get an email. Final prediction? Golden State gonna win, but I just don't want the Celtics to win, man. I'm a Laker fan. Just fuck the Celtics. I really didn't give a shit who won the championship this year, as long as the Celtics don't win. Curtis Mayfield, yeah. Let me tell y'all something about ratings. A lot of your best musicians, your best singers, your best songs, you can expect them to be underrated. Because oftentimes the best music is on the B-side. You know what I mean? There's a certain formula to hits. And usually to get a hit, you gotta really dumb down your music to get a hit, usually. There are exceptions. There are definitely exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, even when you go back to the 70s and the 80s, the song that was a hit on the radio was very rarely the best song on the album, especially back in the 70s. They had the best music in the 70s was the B-sides. Like, Earth, and Fire's biggest hit on the I Am album was Boogie Wonderland. But I hated Boogie Wonderland. Nigga, that whole album is great, except for Boogie Wonderland, if you ask me. You still got the cassette. No, I haven't done a history of Stevie Wonder's career. I did a breakdown of songs in the key of life. If you want to look that up, it's on. A lot of my Mixcloud stuff is now on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So go to Spotify and add Incense and Ashtrays. All of my Mixcloud shows I'm putting up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I did a breakdown of songs in the key of life, the physical and the metaphysical meanings underneath that album. I talked about the earth realities of that song and the spiritual realities of that album. Yeah, they said Justin Timberlake sold his catalog. How did Justin Timberlake's catalog sell for more than James Brown's? Think about that for a second. Think about that. Justin Timberlake had a couple hits with Pharrell that anybody could have made hits. And his catalog sells for more than James Brown. Think about that for a second. Think about that. Hey, but yeah, the music tree is the music tree is done, y'all. For the most part, I think y'all gonna like it. I'm gonna release it for Black Music Month. And I'm gonna do a series on the tree, to where I go in through the history of a lot of music. I'm gonna go down the history. I'm gonna spend June concentrating on Black Music Month. And I might do a broadcast, if not every day, every other day, on music and the music that we created and how it's gotten to today. Yeah. Can you imagine Doobie in your funk? Whoa, WEFUNK, we funk. Make my funk the P-funk. Hey, do you know that George Clinton got a lot of that P-funk, a lot of that radio edit from that brother out of D.C., that DJ out in D.C., I'm drawing a blank to his name. Welcome to station WEFUNK, better known as We Funk, or deeper still, the Mothership Connection, home of the extraterrestrial brothers, dealers of funky music, P-Funk, Uncut Funk, The Bomb. Yeah, he got his name was George. What's that DJ out of D.C.? George, what's his name? Yeah, I'm gonna sell the history tree as a poster and a canvas. I'm gonna have posters. I'm gonna have a canvas, and I'm gonna have T-shirts. But I'm definitely gonna have it as a poster. I'm trying to figure out how to add a QR code to it so people can go to that QR code and go to my website. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. They trying to force feed Jack Harlow to the kids. You're right. But when I was a kid, they tried to force feed us Vanilla Ice. They tried to force feed us the BC Boys. See, if you grew up in the 80s, hip-hop was known as a fringe music back then. They were trying to tell us, like, white rock and roll was the rock and roll. That's why I say party like a rock star. The 80s was the zenith of rock music. Those are the people always promoted as the most famous, as the biggest, best musicians on earth. They always pushing some shit. Is it? You say, is it the Marathon store back open? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. What's up, Red Williams? That nigga said, trust the shooter. You right, people, that's a good point, trust the shooter. People do be struggling with the QR codes. I might just put it incenseandashtrays.com at the bottom. Just make sure. I think I just put reference the website. I don't necessarily need the QR code. You're right, 'cause people do be struggling with QR codes, and I don't want to get sued. And here's the reason why I say that. There's this like thing going around where these people are getting QR codes. Like if you put like a QR code like on a glass, like on a window, like on some things, they say you should check the QR code, and like what you should do is fill the QR code, make sure it's not a piece of sticker on top, because these goddamn hackers are putting fake QR codes on top of QR codes, and they hack it into your Cash App with that. You gotta watch about that. You right about that, Rick? You right. Rock and roll's having kids get high off cocaine like a motherfucker back in the 80s. So that's just an FYI, guys. That's something I heard about. I heard that people are going around, like if you see like a QR code, just say like for like a fast food restaurant or somewhere on the glass, they say people are like pasting their own QR codes on top of that. So you think you're scanning a QR code for 15% off, but you're actually scanning a hacker's QR code who's then using that to like hack into all your banking and all that shit. So that's something for you guys to watch out for. Don't get got. Don't just be scanning your QR codes all willy-nilly. And if you are gonna scan it, like peel it. Like make sure there ain't nothing on top. Like make sure it's not like some kind of sticker on top of the glass or whatever in front of the QR code. Yeah, the Marathon store ain't never gonna open up. You're right, they robbing the motherfuckers out of gun. And that's why black people, and just anybody listening, look, y'all may notice this shit. What's up, Mark by Smith? I don't talk too much about, you ever notice for me, as much as I talk about, one thing you're not gonna hear from me, I never talk about how to dress in the hood and what to look out for in the hood. I just say carry yourself with respect and confidence and humbleness. Be confident and humble at the same time, and you good. You never hear me waste time saying don't wear this and don't wear that and do this. You know why? That's what too many black men talk about. You ever notice that shit? It's just some kind of like, we as black men, we got this weird thing, and it's not, it's not our fault. It's something that's bred into us, but we got this thing where we want to fight for who is most oppressed. Like, I come from the bottoms, I come from the hood. And don't get me wrong, I used to play into that when I was younger, but I heard myself one time because like, I lived in all three classes in LA. I lived in the bottom, I lived in the middle class, and I lived in the upper class in all black neighborhoods. And I used to play that because when I did live on the bottom side, I could claim that. But one day I was talking to some friends about living on the east side of LA. And I was talking about all these things you had to look out for. And you ever just hear yourself talking? You ever like had those moments where you're talking and then like everything slows down and now you just you hear yourself talking? And so I heard myself talking about a lot of the things, the politics on the east side of LA. And I was like, why am I even talking like this? Yes, these politics exist. existed. But you know what I mean? I've had way more love in the hood than I had negative. Same thing living off Crenshaw and Rodeo. When I lived off Crenshaw and Rodeo, yeah, it was sweet. I had to live through shootings. I was desensitized when the school shootings started happening. I was desensitized because my elementary school got shot up a few times. You know, like the house I grew up in, we were involved in like 3 different drive-bys because our neighbor was from a rival hood, set, but these non-shooting ass gang members shot up our house a few times. Yes, that happened, but those were isolated incidents that happened few and far between. Yes, my house got shot up 3 times. Yes, I saw somebody get shot a few feet from me. Yes, I saw somebody get stabbed. But if I add everything up, I'm dealing with 6, 7 incidences over how many year period? Really, most of the time, most of my experiences were love. People saying, what's up? How you doing, neighbor? Hey, I think you guys, y'all left y'all gate unlocked the other night. I locked it for you. I had way more experiences like that living around black people than I have where you from. So why am I going to keep sitting around talking about all this shit about how bad it was? And at the same time, I remember there was a point in my life where like I was almost embarrassed. My parents were able to move up into View Park when I was in high school. That's where all the rich kids was. And there was a point in my life where I was almost embarrassed to talk about that because I was just so used to being around black people talking about struggle. And it felt weird. And this is when I was in my 20s. And I was like, you know what? Then like when I got in my 30s, I was like, you know what? I've had 99% good, positive experiences around my people. I really have. And when I've had negative experiences, when I've had bad things happen, that was the exception. So why am I going to go around talking every day about what to look out for, who banging, who not banging, what street to go? Why am I going to spend all day talking about that when most of my experiences have been love? So I had to check myself, you know what I mean? Because if we just take a stock of our life, I can guarantee you the overwhelming majority of experiences you've had with people have been positive. But as human beings, we have this thing called a negativity bias. Look up the term negativity bias. And negativity bias is natural because when you live in rural societies, like back in the day, you didn't have the internet to pull things up. So walking certain paths where the snake pit is, you're gonna always remember where that snake pit is. You may not remember some of the other good roads you took, but you're gonna remember where that snake pit is. So the negativity bias is something that's natural within us. Why am I saying all this? Why am I going on this fucking rant? I'm saying this like, I think as people, we have to really take stock of our lives and see and like really take time to look at the good. And I mean, really, really, how can I say this? Enjoy the good. Be grateful for the good. Thank you. Like sit down and really just say thank you for all the good shit that happened. And spend every day, give yourself a minute, 2 minutes a day to where you're just gonna sit out and just have gratitude. Like you gotta do that. Like wake up in the morning and just verbalize what you're thankful for. You know what I mean? I'm thankful that I got a fucking apartment or whatever. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that big booty chick that be walking down the street and I get to at least stare at that shit for 20 seconds every day. Whatever the fuck you thankful for. I'm thankful I ain't got rats in my house, nigga. Whatever the fuck. I'm thankful for electricity. I'm thankful that I ain't got herpes. Where the fuck you thankful for? Spend a minute, 2 minutes a day just doing that. Because, like, your perception on things is everything. Like, your perception of what your perception of your life's events, that's everything. Like, it's something like my dad taught me. This is some game my dad taught me. Salute to my pops. I was kicking with him yesterday. Pops be like, he was one day when I was a kid, I was mad at something, and he was telling me about like perception. And he said, like, look at the Lakers. We went to a Laker game one day. So he took me to a Laker game one day. This is back when Nick Van Exel was on the Lakers. Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Cedrick Should, Vlade Divac, Eldon Campbell, Sean Rooks. No, Sean Rooks wasn't there yet. But this is that Laker team, Great Western Forum. Pops took me to a game. And the Great Western Forum seating capacity was 17,505. We left the game. My dad said, see, because he brought one of my cousins with us. And my cousin was complaining the whole time. My cousin kept complaining. Like, man, and I forgot what he was complaining about, but he just kept complaining. And it kind of made the game a little sour. So after my dad dropped my cousin off, he gave me a lesson. He said, you see how cousin, I ain't gonna say his name, was complaining the whole time? I was like, yeah. Then Pops was like, did you have a good game time? I said, I had fun. He said, well, we was in that big ass stadium. Some people had a good time. Some people had a great time. Some people had a horrible time. But no matter what time people had, the game happened. There was a game that was played. That game made some people happy. That game made some people sad. Some people didn't care about the game. Some people were preoccupied with work tomorrow to even enjoy the game. So Pop said, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's not about what happened. It's about how you perceive what happened. It's about what you take away from what did you get out of it? Did you enjoy yourself? It's not about the game. It's about your perception of the game. And so I don't even know why the fuck I said that, man. I was like, it's just something I was thinking about, you know? I don't even know why the fuck I said that. It's just, I don't know, because I for the last few weeks, I've been waking up every day and really just thinking like being grateful. And I'm going to tell you, man, that shit worked, man. Like when it comes to your energy, when it comes to how you feel, when it comes to your experiences of the day, nigga, wake up and say just be grateful for whatever the fuck you grateful for. Running water. You know what I mean? Where the hell you grateful for? I'm telling y'all niggas, that shit work. And here's something about it, y'all. We got to do it consciously. We got to do it consciously. Oh, you say you used to go to the bowling alley on Crenshaw and Rodeo? Man, my mama never took me to that bowling alley. I used to be mad because sometimes she would go in there and get Chinese food, but we could never. They had Chinese food in that bowling alley on Crenshaw and Rodeo. My mama go in there and get some Chinese food, but she'd never let me stop bowling. Let me bowl. We always had to go home. But what's up, Nicole? What's up, Jada God? What's up, G Mars, Emmanuel Heath? Good seeing y'all. But the kids doing your art, see? That's what's up. Yeah, oh yeah, and I want to thank y'all that called in to do for the readings. That was fun. That was fun on Saturday. Press 1 if you want to see me do more reading shows. Where I do some live, because I'm gonna start doing live readings on my Patreon, like once once a month, like 15-minute long readings. But I'm gonna do like on here on YouTube, I'm gonna do like free 5-minute readings. Press 1, okay. Because that shit's fun to me. Like I really started just recently started learning how to read through cards. What's up, Star? Emmanuel Heath? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do those like on Saturdays maybe. Cause I'm learning, but part of the reason why you ain't seen me do, y'all know I usually do like a lot of shows on Black history. I used to, and I haven't done that many lately because, and that's what I was planning on talking about tonight. But shit, we may get to it. That ain't where my attention been. My attention's been on writing this book and learning these fucking cards, man. Cause the cool thing about the cards, I'm already intuitive. Like I don't. That's why I don't walk around with fear. Y'all notice y'all never see me talking about being like guarding myself with people. I know I can read a person right away. I know real quick whether to guard myself or not. But these cards, man, this shit give me a channel. And when I get your card, boy, whoo, nigga, the spirit starts speaking through a nigga. That's the thing I love about these cards. Ooh, once I get them cards and I take a look at it, man, them motherfuckers, nigga, the words, the spirit, that shit just come through me, nigga. What's up, Timbuktu? I appreciate the LA Riot Show is fire, yeah. Yeah, like, nigga, I be reading the day sometimes now with these cards. Nigga, y'all don't know what you get. I don't just read people, nigga. I read the day. I read the week. Do these cards, like this week is a 9 of clubs week. Like with this past eclipse and then this no moon, and we have a meteor shower tonight. I'm telling y'all right now, this is the time, whatever issues you got, this is a great time to let them shits go. But that shit's fun. So I appreciate y'all again for the reading show. I think we're gonna probably do it again on Saturday. If not Saturday night, Thursday night, Friday night. Either Friday or Saturday night. We're gonna do another reading show. This nigga said Darvin Ham need to call in. I was on spot, Nicole. I appreciate that. Yeah, Nicole, even with you. It just like when I was like, man, art. I was like, kitchen, art, kitchen. Just the words kitchen and art kept coming up in my head. And then the way when you said what that was, I was like, okay, my intuition's on. All right. Nah, I'm gonna do a comedy show in LA in August. I gotta hit up the venue and secure the date. But I wanna do it August 6th. I plan on doing it August 6th. And it's gonna be like an 80-seat theater. So tickets, and I'm gonna have it's in an 80-seat theater, and it's gonna be like at 2 o'clock, 2:30-ish. I'm having like doors open at 2. I'm gonna start the show about 2:30, 2:45 on a Saturday. It's gonna have a bar, and it may have food, but I'm definitely gonna have a bar. And we're gonna do mimosas, free mimosa. I think, don't hold me to that, but I think I'm gonna do like one free mimosa for everybody. I gotta talk to my bartender first to make sure they cool with that. Boudin ball. You say, yeah. What are my thoughts on people that practice voodoo? Look, this is my thoughts. When it comes to spirituality and spiritual practices, you have to go with whatever your consciousness is at that time. You know what I mean? Like, I used to judge Christians, and because I used to be a Christian, but I used to judge people who still stay in this church. I used to judge people who are this or who are that. But really, you can't judge, man. You don't, because, like, you don't know. Like, we don't know enough to know anything. So, my thing is, whatever practice people are doing, truth is, first of all, most of these motherfuckers doing these religions, they half-assing anyway. I don't care if you're talking about Islam, Christianity, voodoo, Hindu, where most people that are so-called religion are half-stepping and bullshitting anyway. Let's just tell the truth. My only thing I'm saying is this. I just say, when I look at people who do whatever your religious practice is, whether it be voodoo, metaphysics, occult sciences, whatever, just do it to empower yourself and to make yourself the best person you can be. And if you're doing it on that vibration, I fuck with you, for real, for real. Don't do that shit just to say, I've been doing this fucking religion longer than you and I'm better than you. People like that are fucking worthless. You ever see these long standing conscious niggas? I've been conscious since 91. And you got these niggas who just saw Hidden Colors thinking they know something. Well, nigga, if you've been knowing all this shit since 91, what in your life is showing for it? You still selling DVDs and incense, nigga. Niggas ain't even got DVD machines no more. You still selling them. And incense. And fucking oils and cocoa butter. Talking about something. I've been in the knowledge since Radio Raheem got killed, nigga. Niggas like that ain't no fucking good. Just don't be that nigga. Just don't be that nigga. Just don't be that cat. I appreciate that, Joseph. What's up, Pete Rothstein, 216? It's always good seeing you in the chat, brother. Always. But yeah, like, you know what? Let me tell y'all the reason why I got into doing readings too. I got into readings because... Yeah, all right, brother. Hey, what's up, man? You have a good one. Yeah, how you doing? Man, I'm good, brother. Yeah. Have a good night, man. You be good, man. See, that's how we get down in LA. Always. Black men, FBA, we always acknowledge each other's humanity. That's how you know you're dealing with a real LA nigga. Real LA niggas don't put their head down and look the other way. That's some nigga that moved here. Like a real LA nigga, when we see a man, what's up, man? But yeah, we gotta each one teach one, man. But let me tell you why I got into reading. I got into reading because I already do. Y'all know I do relationship coaching. I'm not a counselor, I'm a coach. I don't have a degree in this shit. I got a degree in communication studies, but I'm not licensed. I didn't want to be licensed. I worked at an agency with people who were licensed, and I saw the book. Here's what America does. They make you get a license so what you do don't work. Because to be licensed means you got to follow their rules, and they change their fucking rules every year. And anytime these motherfuckers fight, this is from 10 years working in the system. Anytime they see some shit work, you can guarantee next year the rules are going to change to some shit that don't work. So licenses are for people who want to play that game. No, it's not to say there are people who are licensed that aren't genuine. There are people who are licensed and they find ways to whoopty-wamp around the system and put in their notes one thing but give you something else. But I didn't want to do all that shit, so I ain't got no license. Plus, I created my own fucking plan. I'm not following no plan of no fucking white person on how to deal with black people and deal with just people in general. I'm not gonna, no. I created my own plan, counseling relationships and helping with communication. And I wrote one book last year, and I have another book coming out, soon. But when I do what I do, coaching relationships and helping people with their relationships and their communication, people don't tell the whole truth. People don't tell the whole truth. And it's not that they don't. Sometimes it's out of innocence. It's so much going on, you forget certain things. And oftentimes, but most of the time, it's people trying to save face and try to make it seem like they not the problem. Learning them cards, nigga, it don't matter if you tell me the truth or not. Nigga, I'ma find out anyway. But the beautiful thing is when I find out, it just makes me more accurate with helping you out. Yeah, especially people dealing with the youth. They don't. Nigga said all Africans ain't bad. Hell no, all Africans ain't bad. I still got some cool ass African homies. One of my best friends in comedy is a Caribbean dude. He was my tenant for a while. Good dude. Good dude. Steve Henry. That's one of my, I won't say, that's somebody I could really call a friend, Steve Henry. He done moved to Vegas. He's a comedian. He's a Caribbean guy. He dates white women. Well, he dates women of all colors, but he will find a white woman real fast. But I got love for that motherfucker right there. That's my nigga right there. Steve Henry. When I first started doing comedy, when I worked at the Comedy Union, Brent Taylor from All Def Digital, Brent Taylor was my DJ, and Steve Henry was my doorman. And that's where, for y'all know, that's where I met Craig, Big Ja, London Brown, everybody. Sydney, Tony Baker, Tahir, all them All Def niggas. Yeah, right. Star, like numbers, cards don't lie. Cards don't lie. And hit up King Simon for a numerology reading. Yeah, I'm smoking 2 joints tonight, nigga. I just drove to Allensworth, California, me and the wife. We just woke up. I forgot it was even Memorial Day. I was up in the morning editing my book. I was up I won't say early, but I got up at 8 o'clock editing my book. And she got up later on. And I was like, I want to do something for Memorial Day. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about no goddamn Memorial Day. But men, fellas, when you married, it don't take much to keep her happy. Plus it ain't about keeping her. Hell, I be having fun, shit. It ain't like she having fun and I'm not. I'm having fun too. My wife was like, I want to go somewhere. So I was like, let's go to Allensworth. Allensworth is that town. General Allensworth is a black man, Buffalo soldier, who settled Sequoias in California. General Allensworth. You know? Oh, you were in Delano today, Star? I was like, we was right by, we was right by each other today. Shit, we could have had lunch or some shit. You could have had lunch with me and the wife. Shit, I didn't know you was up that way. But I used to do stand-up comedy at this comedy club in Delano. It was a casino called the Aviator Casino. Is that casino still open? Uh, Star, is that casino still open? All right. Yeah, we were. But yeah, I used to do comedy in that casino every now and again. Take that long ass, damn near 3-hour drive from LA, do the show, and I wouldn't get off stage till about midnight, and then have to drive back to LA at midnight from Delano. Back to what I was saying, I went to the Allensworth. So for people who don't know, General Allensworth was a black general, a Buffalo soldier, and he settled the Sequoia Forest for the United States. He and a group of other black people got together, bought a bunch of land in what's now known as Allensworth, California, about 4 or 5 miles outside of the Delano, California. And it was a thriving black town. Long story short, white folks put arsenic in the water. And when they put arsenic in the water, it basically forced everybody to move. Some people moved back to LA. Most of the people moved up to Oakland and Fresno and Bakersfield and places like that. But it was a dope ass town. You know what I mean? Like it's most all the buildings are mostly reconstructed. Some of them are original, but they've been refurbished. But I got lucky because usually when you go there, you just only look inside. I got there and the ranger was there giving tours. So I got to go in like 3 or 4 of the houses. I went into the library. I got to go into the church. I got to go into the school and the hotel. What's up, Don Smith? Yeah, and it was just dope. And then I was just thinking like, man, this is a black town that was around in 1911, 1915. And what do we have with us, black people? A library and a school. Don't tell me we don't take education serious. So when people want to come, that's why you got to know your own history. When people want to come around talking about something, we don't value education. You black Americans don't value education. Nigga. And they had they had actual school desks. There were some school desks that were still left over. So they had the actual school desks in there. I took pictures of them and put them on Instagram. Like the school desks were like really well made. They were like iron and wood, and they were better. Those school desks were better made than the school desks I had growing up in school. Facts. Typewriters. Man, it was so dope. Just being in that all black town. You got to see the shops and just see like, man, these were the children of slaves that built that town. These people, parents, were enslaved. And in just that one generation, they bought their own fucking town. Think about that. Think about that. That's why I have so much confidence in us as a people. And I talk the way I talk. Because I seen it. And that was like another dope thing about like when I moved up in like in high school, when my parents moved into View Park, it was just like, damn, it was hella relaxed up there. Neighbors are nice. The sheriffs are nice. They don't fuck with you. Still lock your doors, cause hell, niggas ain't real. I'm still a nigga. We don't relax nowhere we at. Shit, I lock my doors if I lived in goddamn Homeby Hills too. But I've seen too much of us at our best to not be 100,000% bold to speak as boldly as I do about us. That's what's up, Star. See, Star, old school California. No, America's Maker. Don't be mistaken. They do know our history. They know our history well. They know our history well. They just don't tell us. There's a reason why they stay on code. They stay on code because they know who they're dealing with. Be very clear. They stay on code because they know who they're dealing with. If they lost sight of who we are, their code would unravel within a week if they ever lost sight of who we are. We gotta own that. We don't know who we are. And that's why I don't go around. What's up, JR? That's why I don't go around talking to them. I talk to us. I like talking to us to remind us who we are. And I welcome anybody around. I talk to black people, but I welcome all races around me. Because anybody who is 100, they won't mind me talking about and uplifting black people. That wouldn't offend them. It won't offend you. If me uplifting black people offends you, then I don't want you around. I don't care what color you are. If you a nigga that don't want black people uplifted, I don't want you around either. This is a place, like, and that's why I don't get too much into gossip, man. This is a place where we talk a little bit of shit, but we're gonna try to figure out what we're gonna learn from it. Right, I needed for it says, still learning. No, it's not for the fight of the history. I don't have any kids in the school, but if you have children in school, yeah, no, it is. No, it's good. Take advantage because we need more parents active on these school boards. I know one of the reasons why I got through school. My mom was at that school. My mom was at my school regularly. Like, yeah, if you can get on a board, if you can influence curriculum, get some J.A. Rogers in those curriculums. Get some John Henry Clark in those curriculums. Get some Claude Anderson in those curriculums. Yes, it's not futile. I think we haven't fought so long. We forget that when we do fight, we win. No. Like, I don't, do it. Like, I guarantee you, if my wife and I ever decide to have kids, and I have kids in the school system, well, first of all, I probably wouldn't. Oh, well, part of the reason why I don't, because like I'm positioning myself. I work from home. I'm homeschooling my kids. I'm not gonna worry about that. If I ever have kids, they get homeschooled. I wouldn't send any kids to school. But I was thinking this 10 years ago, long before the coronavirus, just because of my experience working mental health and working in the South, working with the school districts and seeing what really goes on behind back. But everybody ain't got job structure to where you can homeschool your kids. If you got the kind of job structure that won't allow you to homeschool your kids, then by all means, go to those schools and use whatever, all the influence you have over the curriculum they're using. Whatever system you're in, we all can't be in the same system. You know what I mean? You got to put your kids do things in a way that's going to be conducive to your work life, because at the end of the day, if you don't work, ain't nobody eating. So you know, this ain't to disrespect people who are putting their kids in the school system. No disrespect to y'all. But if you're gonna do that, please be on the PTA. Please be on school-based management. Please be on whatever board. Get them teachers. Press number 1 if y'all want me to do another show on well, I already did one on IEPs. Like, I could do. Let me know if y'all want to talk about IEP. Maybe I'll do that in Patreon. Talk about IEPs. I don't know. And the school and what to do as a what to do as a parent in the school system. You know, but I'm angling my work days and how I get down with homeschooling kids. These school systems are poison, man. I told you, working mental health. When I had that last job, I got for real PTSD working that job. I got PTSD diagnosed, not me just saying, nigga, I got PTSD. I got PTSD diagnosed from that. I'm over it now. But nigga, 3 years ago, my PTSD with that job was so bad. Like the other night I told y'all a story from that job. My PTSD back in 2019 was so bad from that job that if I tried to tell a story, a workplace story, I couldn't get my big ass. I couldn't get through a minute without breaking down crying. That's how bad my PTSD had gotten at that job. I had saw so much bullshit. And mind you, I'm an intuitive. I'm an artist. The thing about intuitive people, we're very sensitive to our energy around us. Like, I take on the energy of my environment. That's a good and a bad thing. Because as a comedian, when I'm on stage, I can, for the most part, be funny every time I'm on stage. Because I can feel the energy of the room, and I could just just automatically, because I'm so used to it now, tailor my jokes to the energy of that room. When I read cards, I can tap into your energy, and I can listen to whatever voices you hear. I can hear that too. That's the good side of it. The bad side of it is you at somebody's house in Watts at 3 p.m. and the mama is telling the boy, fuck you, and all kind of shit like that. When you're in that environment, you take that in too. And that's the situation I was in at that last job. I had a therapist diagnose me with PTSD and would not let me go back to work. I took that time off on medical leave. Nigga, I took that medical leave, boy, and turned that shit into my own goddamn company. I had opened my company a little bit before then, but I took that medical leave and shit. I ain't never going back to work for no corporate environment. I flipped that shit so fast. All I needed was that little bit of opportunity. I got 12 months of medical leave money where I didn't have to work. And I took that 12 months of time, I flipped that shit. But my PTSD was so bad back in 2019 that I couldn't get through 1 minute of talking about that job without breaking the fuck down. So it's like, so being a sensitive like I am, sensitive as in sensitive to my environment, that's a good and a bad thing. I ride the wave of whatever energy I'm in. That's why, like, I'm really protective of who I'm around. I'm protective of who I'm around and where I'm around. Because, like, when I'm in certain environments, I just can't do certain environments. Like, if I'm in an environment where everything is just negative, I'm out. I'm getting the fuck out of there. Yeah, that job was so goddamn stressful, man. As big as I am, I had never had high blood pressure issues. I had high blood pressure issues then. I ain't got them no more. Them motherfuckers is gone. But back then, nigga, look, this is how it happened my last day at that job. I had got this new manager. See, the cool thing about that job, I got to work in the field. So I didn't have to be, once I was done seeing them kids, I can come back home and cleanse my mind. I had got this new manager that was trying to make me come in the office and do all kind of bullshit. So this new manager had said some bullshit. I walked out. One of the other managers, she saw me. I'm just looking like, man, I'm mad than a motherfucker. And she was like, you don't look good. You need to go talk. She's like, you got a therapist? I said, I said I had one. I don't go to my therapist no more. She's like, well, you need to call your therapist. You don't look good. I'm thinking I'm fine. I'm thinking I'm good. Man, one of the other managers was like, nah, you need to call your therapist. I called my therapist, went the next day. She was like, nope, you ain't going back to that job. This wasn't one of those, hey, I need some time off. It wasn't none of that fake shit. I went in thinking, okay, I'm gonna talk to this therapist, get out what I gotta get out, and then, then I'm gonna get back to work. She was like, nope, nigga, you ain't going back. Telling y'all, that was God right there. I got that 12 months of disability. I flipped that shit into two different companies. My company, Breakthrough Advocacy Services, that one, and my other company, Brown House LLC. That's what I did during that 12 months. Go to breakthroughas.org. I flipped that time off into that company. Nigga. Oh, also during that time off, that's when I started this show. That's when I started my YouTube channel. Well, my YouTube channel had kind of been around, but that's when I started taking it serious. June 2020. That's when I started taking YouTube serious. Nigga. That's when Craig Fact started the next year. Nigga, but I flipped that shit into two different companies. Nigga. Yeah. I didn't get no PPP loan. I wish I did. I wish I did get that PPP. I wish I did. Money you ain't got to pay back. My LLC wasn't around long enough to get that PPP. I did though, man. I applied for that motherfucker. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Quan? But, but yeah, I say from Inkster. Where is Inkster, Michigan? Kenneth Berry. That was Kenneth. When was that? I met you in my Uber. When was that? Was that 2019 or 2018? When was that? That'll tell me. For y'all who don't know, Kenneth Berry, I met this nigga when I was driving Uber. That was either 2018 or 2019. And he was at El Camino College. Okay, 2019. Yeah, so I think I had just, oh yeah, I had just left the job because I hadn't gotten disability yet. Like that time we had it, no, I was still at the job. KB, I was still at the job. I was still at the job because you hadn't graduated yet. And then when I had did that Uber ride with you, I was actually still on the clock. I used to drive Uber while I was on the clock sometimes. And I think I had signed out because your pickup was right by my house. I was actually thinking, okay, this is going to be my last pickup of the day. And what happened was Kenneth Berry, I was picking him up from El Camino College. And I was taking him way to Cal State Northridge. I'm sitting here thinking, how can this college kid be affording a goddamn Uber? This is that shit was like an hour and 15-minute drive because this nigga going at rush hour. I'm like, this nigga, how the fuck is this kid? But Kenneth was cool as hell. I just was like, man, and he just started talking. And anytime I have a young black, like he younger than me. Like at the time, I think I was like 38. And Kenneth, you probably was like in your mid-20s or some shit like that. I don't know how old you were, but you were in your 20s. And anytime I'm around a black man younger than me, I always like to listen to him talk and give whatever advice I can give them because that's just how I get down. So he said you was working 3 jobs. So Kenneth Berry, we had like an hour-long drive to Cal State Northridge, and we had a dope conversation. He told me he had a podcast and called Touchdowns and Tangents. And at the time, I was looking for a studio. No, I think I had just found the studio. Either I was looking for a studio or I just found the studio I was doing my radio show at. I don't know which one it was. Either I was looking for a studio or I had just found the studio when I was doing D Brown Hour at Accelerated Radio. And so on top of that, Kenneth, he was going to my alma mater. I graduated from Cal State Northridge. So I got a young black man in my car that I'm Ubering to the college I graduated from. And we just became cool after that. And then when I started this YouTube show here, Kenneth Berry was in the chat. Kenneth Berry was in the chat. And so that's how I met this motherfucker. I think that's the only time we ever met, but like, yeah. We say what's up online. But I was done driving Uber not too much longer after that. No. I was still driving. Was I driving Uber? I slowed down on driving Uber after that. Because I drove Uber the most when I had that job. That job didn't pay shit. And creatively, I wasn't getting no work. Nigga, I was, same thing with me, Ken Berry, in 2000, that same year, 2019. I was working full time on my job. I was driving Uber. What else? I was managing the 5 apartment buildings. And what other job was I doing? I had some other little side gig I was doing. I was hustling. Oh yeah, we battled over having beef with the Cal State Northridge journalism department because there's some racist motherfuckers, boy. Yeah. This is when I really started to understand how racism affects us. Cal State Northridge really taught me that. Because at Cal State Northridge, I'd have these I wish Tariq Nasheed was around, and I wish I knew who Neely Fuller was in 2004, 2003. I wish I had read the ISIS papers by then. I wish Tariq Nasheed and Jason Black were around then. I didn't know what I was seeing. I was raised in an all-black environment. My elementary school, middle school, and high school was black. I never had to really interact with white folks like that. And so when I'm in college, I'm listening to these liberals in these in these college environments, and I'm thinking we got some kind of common cause, like a lot of these niggas today. I thought that even though I was still pro-black, I'm in my 20s. I'm really thinking that black people have a common cause with liberals at this time in my life. Nigga wasn't always where I am. We all grow. You dig? And so, see, Quan, LA's racism is so refined and passive. We run into it, but we don't know what the fuck we looking at. We don't get it directly like y'all. All right. LA racism, you really got to sit back and watch. You really got to sit back and watch. Because if you... Yeah. So, like, when I'm at Cal State Northridge, this is when I notice it's a problem. On one hand, my liberal teachers are saying one thing, but everything that I wrote was pro-black. Everything. I'm talking about blackness. And in some class, like if it was a subject that I didn't have choice on what I was talking about, and it was whatever the topic the teacher chose, I would always get A's on those writing projects. Anything writing or speaking, I get A's on all the time. But anytime I was allowed to speak on what I wanted to speak on, I spoke on something from a pro-black angle. And anytime I did that, I could never get better than a C. Usually I would get a D. And I would be sitting back like, how am I getting a D when I'm talking about when I did my LA Riots show on YouTube, I used to write about that shit in college. So I'm in college, I'm writing about how the LA Riots benefited the Crenshaw district. When I wrote about that, nigga, C-. But literally every other writing project, if I'm talking about the prison industrial complex, A+. If I'm talking about how we need to protest Nike because of their treatment of their workers in China, A+. I'm writing about sugar subsidies and how these billionaires make $6 billion. Billionaires made $6.9 billion on burned sugar crops, A+. Then it's like, okay, Dwan, write about what you want to write about. All right, cool. I'm writing about how the prison industrial complex takes jobs out of the black community and puts them in prison and makes them work the same jobs they could. Oh, that's a D, nigga. D. No, this is out of the bounds of what we said is acceptable and permissible, and you missed a comma right there. D, nigga, D. And I didn't know what I was running into, but I kept running into it. Thank God for Needy Fuller. Yeah. So so I had to live that experience. And living that experience brought me back to, so when I did find out who Needy Fuller was, when I did find out when I did see Hidden Colors, that just vibrated with an experience I had been living, but I had never heard anyone else articulate it until I heard Dick Gregory talk about it, until I found out who Dr. John Henry Clark was, until I found out who Dr. Ben was, and James Smalls and Kabahia Wathakamane. When I found out about them and Dr. Welsing, and that's when I was like, oh, these motherfuckers is talking about what I've been seeing. That's why I laugh at these niggas that be like, oh man, you hoteps, man, y'all just follow what anybody say. No, nigga, that's not true. I don't follow no fucking body. These just happen to be people that say things that match what I experienced, but didn't quite have the words to put to my experience. But yeah, I had to repeat. I remember I failed. It was a critical class to my major. It was a class called communication. It was a rhetoric class. And rhetoric is not an easy class. Like rhetoric 429. Like the 4-level rhetoric class is not an easy class. But I was passing that motherfucker with a C. Man, I had this lesbian white teacher. This bitch looked like Flounder from Little Mermaid. No. She looked more like Pasty Ursula. But she had this mohawk. And she used to dress like a dude. But going back then, I'm in my 20s, I'm naive. She used to always conflate her being a lesbian woman and be like, yeah, like, I'm in no way, shape, or form saying it's as bad, like it's as socially tough as being black. I'd never shame your experience. I'd never shame your experience. But being a woman and being lesbian and being bisexual, we have, and I used to be sitting in class like, okay, cool. Man, for the final, I wrote a report, and I wrote this report on how when I lived in the Crenshaw district, they brought a water treatment facility for our neighborhood to test unsanitized water and turn it into drinking water, and how they chose our black neighborhood over, and man, that bitch failed me, and I failed that class. I was so goddamn mad. I had to take that class over, and that bitch ended up moving to Michigan the next year to teach somewhere out there. So I had to take that class over again. But again, I didn't know any better. I didn't know how white supremacy worked. If I understood white supremacy, I just would have wrote about something else to get my little grade and move on. I did try to appeal, Quan, but this what happened. They were like, she's in Michigan. And they was on some shit. But CSUN ain't no better. I had to take my exit exam 3 times. Again. Because the first 2 times, the exit writing exam, you had to have a writing exam. And I got A's in everything writing that did not deal with black stuff. I did not recognize the pattern back then. So I took my exit exam. I first took my exit exam 2 years before, because you can take the exit exam. You can take the exit exam anytime after your sophomore year. So I took it the summer between my sophomore and my junior year, and I didn't pass it. But I wrote about some nigga shit. I forgot what it was. It was some nigga shit. Took it again the next year. Didn't pass it. Why? Wrote about some nigga shit. So when I get to my last semester in college, that's when I'm starting to really see the pattern, my last semester. So my last semester, I didn't write about any nigga shit. And I passed all my classes easily. I didn't write about nigga shit. I didn't say nothing about nigga shit. And then my college exit exam, I wrote about, what did I write about? I wrote about like something to do with NASA. And it was like some mission that was going on around the time. Because I remember it was like one of NASA's last, and I wrote, it was something going on with NASA at the time, whatever. I wrote it on some nerdy ass NASA shit. And I passed. I wish I understood that lesson my second year of college. He had the upper division writing exam, that one, Kenneth Berry, that one. Yep, that one. Yeah, you right, them lesbian white teachers at CSUN? Man, you lost, nigga. Nigga said I should have said whitey's on the moon. Yeah, that's that LA shit. LA racism is very subtle. But once you understand what it is, it's easy to point out, and you see what it is. But if you don't understand the game, it's confusing. But y'all gonna be ready? Y'all gonna be ready for my next reading show? That shit was fun, doing readings. That shit was fun. Well, I told you I started doing them readings because it just makes me better at when I'm helping people with their communication problems. Yeah. Hell no, I don't like no damn conference final award, MVP award. They made that award because for the last 15 years, you've had these bronzesexuals running around saying, but he made the finals, but he made the finals, but he made the finals. He won the... These NBA bronzesexual niggas have gotten so conditioned to celebrating second place. They basically created 2 second place awards. That's what they did. Those were second place awards. You go to those compatible cards. And nah, I don't think I'm psychic. My wife says I am. My wife has been telling me I'm and it's crazy because my wife is the one that got me into this kind of information. I was straight this time 10 years ago, nigga. I was straight up Christian, homie. Well, I wouldn't have gone to a card reader 10 years ago, let alone be one. I wouldn't have gone to a card reader 5 years ago, nigga, let alone be one. Even when I left the church, I was like, nah. But I would listen to different people on Black Magic 363. I found this YouTube channel like back in 2013, 2014. I found it because through Sonetter. I would watch Sonetter so I could watch them New York niggas debate. And I used to just smoke weed and watch them New York niggas debate on Sonetter and be laughing on 125th Street. Hey, my brother. But after a while, that shit got old. I found Brother Richard's channel because he interviewed Dick Gregory. And at the time, I was just looking up Dick Gregory interviews. Brother Rich played like an old Bobby Hemmett video. And I was like, yo, what's this? Then he interviewed like Delbert Blair. And I'm like, what the fuck is these niggas talking about? And then like Phil Valentine. And that's kind of how I got into that, onto that path. Quan, they still debating? Yeah, Sonetter, man, them niggas, I'm not with all that debating. That shit, like, sometimes every now and then I get high, be like, Sonetter be like, we're gonna have the Nawapians, they gonna be debating the Amin Ra squad. And I would be laughing like, why is it a group of niggas named, why is it a group of niggas running around just debating? What the fuck is this? Now, I will laugh at the debates, and here's the reason why I do it. I don't even watch the debate, but to me, especially when I get high, I just think it's funny, the concept of niggas debating over who's right. It's like, nigga, Earth is a big motherfucking planet. It's a big old-ass planet, too. Nigga, can't everybody, like, it's a good chance, especially if you've been researching, it's a good chance everybody's right. Think about if they're debating on ancient America 1,000 years from now, 2,000 years from now, they're debating on ancient America. And just say this is how the debate's gonna be going. Did the United States of America have subways or did they use freeways for cars? What mode of transportation was used in ancient United States of America 2,000 years ago? On one hand, you're gonna have a brother that did work in doing research in the New York region, in the Philadelphia region, on the East Coast, and they're gonna be like, yes, ancient America, I can prove without a shadow of a doubt, ancient America used subway and trains as a primary means of mode of transportation. And then you got another nigga that did they research, but that research is in the Los Angeles, California area. And that person could say, no, my brother, without a shadow of a doubt, ancient America 2,000 years ago, they used this thing called a freeway system. And they had these things called automobiles, cars. And they use, in my research, it shows that they use 92 premium gas, with a mineral that was around at the time called octane, brother. And then you get these two niggas. One of them got on face paint looking like a fake ass wrestler, and the other one is dressed like Papa Shango. And these niggas is debating in the year 4045. They the poor broke niggas. They the broke niggas that ain't really got nothing going on in the year 4045. The rest of the world is popping. Niggas is flying. Niggas is doing cartwheels in the sky. These niggas ain't learned how to fly yet. Nigga, everybody else is a nigga. They got bottle service. And they got in the upside down Space Needle Lounge and some shit. But these is the niggas that still, living with their mama. And they having a debate over whether or not ancient America used subways or cars and freeways. Not understanding that depending on the side of town you were on, depending on the cultural norms of the decade you were in, because if you were around if you read some literature from 1970, if you read some literature from 1950 and the word bad is used, you're gonna know it means not a good thing. But if you're reading a piece of literature from 1989 and it says the word bad, it's gonna mean that's a good thing. You see how this shit work? In just a small 20-year period, a word could mean one thing and something totally different in 20 years. What's normal now? So I said all that to say, why the fuck are people debating? All this shit could be true. All this shit could be true. So what the fuck you arguing for? There's nothing cool about being conscious and broke. Nigga, that's a waste of brain space. And that shit kind of annoying too. What's the point in studying all this shit if you ain't gonna use it? Now, I understand studying all it and not knowing how to use it. That's understandable. But if you stay focused, you'll find a way how to use it. But there's some people who don't give a fuck about using it. They just want to debate niggas. You niggas is weird. Man, you're supposed to have a meteor shower tonight. I want to stay up and watch it. I don't think I'll be able to watch it from here. But I want to stay up. But nigga, how far is Allensworth from LA? What, 200 miles? I done drove like a little over 400 miles today. I don't know if I'm able to stay up. Hey, can somebody Google for me the time the meteor shower is supposed to be tonight? I can't Google. I'm on my phone. I can't Google with you niggas. I'm on the phone. Somebody Google time of tonight's meteor shower. I don't see stars like right now. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? There go Virgo right there. No. That's Scorpio. If you look in the sky right now, directly south, you'll see Scorpio. What time is tonight's meteor shower? Yeah, I love Dr. Amos Wilson. And Dr. Amos Wilson could have been a cold DJ too. Dr. Amos Wilson, his voice was so smooth. Man, wouldn't you have liked to hear a Sunday night slow jams radio show hosted by Dr. Amos Wilson. Coming up next, we got a song written by Gamble and Huff, the OJs, Stairway to Heaven. Dr. Amos Wilson would have been a cold late night DJ. That brother was smooth. It's gonna be between 1 and 2 a.m. Okay. Okay, I think I can stay up long enough. If I'm gonna stay up long enough, I better not finish this joint. If I finish this joint, it ain't gonna be no staying up that long. What y'all talking about? Oh, you said between 4:30 and 5:30 in LA? Oh, hell nah. I would not be up that long. Nope. Shit, I might as well go ahead and finish this joint thing, because I ain't gonna be up that goddamn long. Although I may wake up. That's what I might do. I think I'm gonna set my alarm and wake up. I'm a nerd like that. Man, if I knew in advance, man, I gotta be checking I didn't realize there was a meteor shower until like 2 days ago. There was like this big old meteor shower like 2 years ago. Man, me and the wife went out and got a room. It's a spot I go and zone out at sometime, like way out in the middle of nowhere, California. Like it's literally like a 5-star hotel, and nothing else around. There's like a little small city. It's like over there near the Salton Sea, but not close. You don't smell that shit, but it's over in that area. Nigga, because it's a dark sky community. Nigga, I will go stay over there at that resort. If it's a good meteor shower, because it's a dark sky community, nigga, me and the wife go stay there at least once every other year. I'm a nerdy ass nigga when it comes to them goddamn stars and shit. I love going out there seeing that. But then the coyote started blurting, and I was like, oop, nigga, back to the room. But I ain't gonna say it too much longer, man. But do what I said, like for real, like just like really wake up every day just being thankful. Like just start naming off anything you're thankful for, man. Thankful that your toes don't hurt, nigga. I'm thankful that I got pretty calf muscles. Where the fuck you thankful for? Be thankful your edges are still there. Be thankful no one else noticed your split ends but you. You know, where the fuck you thankful for? Spend time being thankful every day. Oh, D-Ball, if you got Celtics in your name, you don't have anything to be thankful for. This message goes for everybody but Celtics fans. If you're a Celtics fan, don't do this exercise. I think the Lord told me you niggas deserve to be depressed. That's what the Lord told me if you're a Celtics fan. This ain't for you. But if you're not a Celtics fan, listen to what I'm saying. Nigga, spend every day, wake up, nigga, thankful. I'm telling you, man, it worked. Just be nigga. If you hear they cutting the grass, and you smell that fresh smelled grass in the morning, nigga, be thankful your nose buds working. You can smell that shit. Be thankful for the birds chirping. Where the fuck you thankful for? You niggas that wear tight pants, be thankful that you ain't got a yeast infection. You skinny jeans wearing bastards. I don't like you kind of niggas. Because I assume any nigga that wears skinny jeans catches yeast infections. I said that before, I'll say it again. So if you wear skinny jeans and you ain't got a yeast infection, nigga, be thankful. Yeah. Be thankful. Be thankful. Diamond in the back, sun rooftop, digging to see what a gangster lean. Ooh, ooh. See, we used to have music telling you to be thankful. Though you may not have a great big Cadillac, gangster white walls, motherfucking TV in the back. Man, Tatum be disappearing. It depends. Tatum be Kobe one night, and then his mulatto come out, and then that nigga, he's his white half the next night, just disappears. That's the frustrating part about Tatum. He has all the game, but he will disappear on your ass. He will disappear. Nah, D-Block, that's the only thing that makes your Celtics somewhat bearable to watch. Tatum's Kobe armband. That's the one thing that makes him somewhat bearable to watch. We understand that he knows where the greatness comes from. Comes from the Lakers. And if y'all win a championship, you'll know it's a Laker that made it happen. But Celtics fans know. Celtics fans know. Go back and look up video from 2007. The year before the Celtics got the big three. The Lakers had a road game in Boston. This one, it was just Paul Pierce. Wasn't no Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett yet. The Boston Garden started chanting MVP for Kobe. See, Boston know what it is. They can fake all they want. I remember watching that game live. You guys can look this shit up on ESPN if you're too young to know. The Boston Garden, as hated as the Lakers are, the Boston Garden started saying the MVP chant for Kobe Bean Bryant. And that's just true. This nigga. Yeah, New York chanted it too. But you can low-key expect it from the Knicks fans. The thing about this shit, they talk all that shit about New York being the mecca of basketball. The Madison Square Garden is best known. The greatest performances in Madison Square Garden history have happened by the road team, not the home team. What are you talking about? Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. Carmelo was like one of the only ones. Carmelo and Patrick Ewing were like the only ones. The only Knicks that had great games. Reggie Miller. Hell, Will Chamberlain scored his 100 points against the Knicks. Granted, it wasn't in the Garden, but it was still against the Knicks. 100 points against the Knicks. Granted, it wasn't in the Garden, but it was still against the Knicks. 100 points against the Knicks. Granted, it wasn't in the Garden, but it was still against the Knicks. 100 points against the Knicks. Granted, it wasn't in the Garden, but it was still against the Knicks. The Knicks is where other players get their names made from. Yeah. Oh man. I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. Me and the wife drove 400 some odd miles round trip to Allensworth. I'm about to sit my ass down, pass out. I'm gonna holler at y'all.